Today we are reporting from Mount Vernon. Right here, this is the place where this morning at around 1 a.m. two teenagers were shot. 15-year-old and a 16-year-old were shot. I am told that a car passing by stopped and asked the victims if they knew Greg. The victim said no, and then they kept on walking and the shots rang out. Let me show you the blood spots that are all over the ground. Okay. It starts here. So we're assuming that this was the place where they were initially shot. And let me show you, going a little further, where one of the victims collapsed. You can actually see his handprints on the ground as he was crawling. Look. Now, the teens live right across the street from here. From this place, they ran home, which is there, and we're going to go there and I'm going to show you, other spot where they collapsed and then where they called the police, maybe a family member called the police. But right now, we are going to talk to the grandma. Ma'am?
Yes.
This doesn't stop. The violence keeps on happening. Kids are being shot. And this needs to stop. Tell me about your grandson, please. Sons.
My
Both.
grandsons. Tommy has hit 95 as an honor student and was just rewarded through the prom. Yes, the National Honor Society and the prom. What was he, king? Prom king. And I just started letting the boys actually go out on their own. This is the third time, because he said to me, Grandma, I am 18 years old and I'm, like a man. So I let him and my grandson go to a little party on 4th Avenue. And all they did was walk from 4th Avenue, you could say 1st Street, down to 14th Avenue here. And in the process of walking, this guy comes up and asks them a name. And they don't know the name. And when Tommy was shot, Jared ran. That's some of the blood. My daughter's house is right there, and they were on their way there. You understand? These are not kids that have done drugs and all. I'm not saying, because you know what? I don't want to condemn anybody. We don't know all of the facts of things. But I am very upset. And you know who I blame? I blame the church. I'm a part of the church too. The Bible says one can chase 1,000, 2 tens 1,000. What are we doing? Can't we see that the time is winding up? The wars are a man's enemy in his own house. We're hearing things that we haven't heard in a long time. And they're coming. Talking. He's trying to wake up the church. He's trying to wake up the government. He's trying to wake up our neighbors. And he's looking for people that'll go out, no matter what the cost. If it costs my life, I'm going to see the King. Because he's going to pay every man according to what his works will have been. When my kids go out, I cover them under the blood of Jesus. Not only my kids, my neighbors, everybody. I sit in my car for hours praying for the president, vice president, secretary of state, lieutenant general, our servicemen, our servicewomen that are out there, our hospitals, that they would be the healing institution, our schools, that they would be the learning institution, and the places where the people are hungry and starving and don't have any food. That's why I tell everybody, if I have food, clothing, and shelter, I'm going to be content. And I am grateful and thankful for anything. But this shooting stuff has to stop. And we, the people of God, we got to walk the streets. Either we got the power he said we got, or we don't have nothing.
Ma'am,
yes.
How are the boys today?
Both are in the hospital. Tommy has all kinds of tubes on his chest because when they shot him, help me, daughter.
On his butt cheeks.
On his butt cheeks. And then Jared was shot. Tommy
shot.
was.
He wasn't shot.
I'm
Jared
sorry.
was running and broke
Jared
his leg.
was running and broke his
leg.
His femur.
So only one boy was shot.
Yes, Tommy.
And the other one got injured as he was running away from
As
the
he was
shooting.
running from the shooting and broke his femur, and he's in Jacoby Hospital with tubes. And it's a disgrace. It is a disgrace. And anybody, I want to say this, taking filthy lucre. You understand? And one time, the Lord, I don't know what, in the whatever the mass was, I said, Father, if I had $1 million, it couldn't get me off of this bed. But he got me up, and he got me up again, because I still got work to do. And I'm going to work in this city. I was born in this city, and I'm going to work in this city until it gets back the way God said it should be.
Now, we all know that, look, these sort of things needs to stop.
Yes.
The violence needs to stop. Why you think this is happening, and where should we start to make sure that this type of things ends?
Well, first we need people that understand the dynamics of what's going on. I'm not trying to be funny. It's not about color, race, or anything, but the police department. And let me tell you, there's a beautiful young man on the police department, but you know what? We need people that are going to cooperate. If you're coming from some high place and you don't understand the dynamics, keep your happy hips up there. You understand? If you can understand and work with the people and understand what's going on. I watched a young lady take her car, because she had the power to, and push all the people, which they were wrong, up the street. But she was driving the car, bonk, 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 eating a sandwich. Do you understand? This is what we get in here. I think we get the leftovers from places, and they come down here, and they have mental problems, mental challenges, and they out here trying to fix this stuff. They can't fix it. Only God can.
Do you think that your grandsons, they were a target, or they were target, or
Random shooting, or what is it when they try to get in the gang initiation? You know, like the person might have said, go shoot this one and you can get in the gang. It had to be something, because that's what all of the kids are saying, that it had to be gang initiated.
because for what I understand, your grandsons are very good kids, involved in positive stuff, no affiliation whatsoever, just innocent kids coming home, correct?
Just coming home. Straight A's? Come on. Both of them. Football. You could, if you were to speak with their coach Sparks, he takes all this extra time to work with these children and everything to make sure, because we don't have any recreation facilities for these kids. How dare they sell the YMCA and any place where they could go to keep them off the streets? They have nowhere to keep them off the streets. So where are they going? Association brings civilization. My father used to say, show me your friends, and I know who you are. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to change the way things are. But you know what? We could pray the wrong people out of the city, because he said, I've given you power over all the works of the enemy. You understand?
Now, ma'am, has the Mount Vernon Police Department give you any information whatsoever at what stage is this investigation, or is it too early for them to say anything yet?
It might be too early for them to say anything, but I want to say this. I had even an incident to happen to me, and I don't care. Working 2 jobs. Worked probably one night, because I did child protection, late, and then I was working over at Naomi House, a woman's facility when they're like homeless. And I came home that Friday night, and I said, oh, thank God, I'm going to get me some rest. And do you know there were 2 officers. I invited them upstairs to my house. And do you know what? I'm going to make a long story short. They were looking for my son. There's no doubt about it. But I'm going to tell you this. Everybody knows I ain't never done a drug in my life. Smoked cigarettes? Yes. Stopped at 20 because God took away 2 packs of cigarettes in a day. And I've been under great teaching in my church. When my mother died, 21, I'm the oldest of 11 brothers and sisters. The mother of the church, she's the one said God put her on assignment for me. And she said, you're going to learn to crucify that flesh. That means anything I think I want to do, I can't do. And bring it under subjection and reckon yourself as dead. And she took my arm and went like this. And then when I used to cry because things weren't going my way, she said, you're going to learn how to stand. Romans 8:28 says, all things work together for good to them that love God and called according to his purpose. So no matter what it's been, my hope and trust is in God. And God's going to change it.
Now, ma'am, I don't know if you know, I am from Yonkers. And in Yonkers, we have a great tool that helps finding suspects, identifying people that do things like this. When I arrived here at the area, the first thing I looked around was surveillance cameras. I didn't see any. Okay, maybe if there were some surveillance cameras in this area and other areas in Mount Vernon, this would be an open and closed, investigation. What message do you have for the current mayor of Mount Vernon to install surveillance cameras that will help solve, crimes of this type?
I would ask kindly, seeing that, this has knocked on my door, not just for me, but for all of the people, because you should be able to walk the streets and be safe. I mean, they could pick somebody as old as me, and I'm in my 70s and don't mind saying it. Pick someone as old as me and just say, shoot that old lady over there. You understand? That's how bad it's getting. How much worse does it have to get? And you know what I'm saying? So we have to recognize these things and do something about it. But only God can fix it. And I want you to see a young man here that keeps a lot of our young men off the streets. And he could tell you what he does. And we need more people like this. But they have money seemingly for all of the other kind of stupid stuff, but they don't have money for like what he's doing. Let him see you.
How you doing?
How you doing, ma'am? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how do you connect to this case?
I'm Coach Mark Murray. I'm Tommy's football coach. I've known him since he was about 6 years old, coaching him from the Razorbacks, the Westchester Jets, and now to high school. He's a very, very, very smart, the smartest kid I've ever coached. He's not a street kid. Literally walking down the block to go to his aunt's house. And it's sad that we can't even walk home no more without being safe. So we just want to make sure we get things right in Mount Vernon, like she was saying. And we want to make sure that we are doing the right thing for our youth.
Well, thank you very much. Now we have to conclude this, and I'm going to show you exactly again the trajectory where this happened. This happened right there. The boys ran this way. The victim of the shooting, as we know now, only one boy was shot. The other one broke his leg as he was running home. This is the place where one of them stopped, sat down for a little bit. As you guys can see, that stain there is blood. There is handprints on the ground. Then he kept on running this way. Let me show you the way he ran. He kept running this way. So this is as far as we're going to go. So you guys have more or less the idea. So thank you for watching, and until later.